going on, average entrepreneur family? Thank you for all of your support. Thank you for checking out all of the videos that are in the channel. Let's make this community a community of entrepreneurs who are looking and striving to build their brands and make their brands the next big thing. You saw the intro. Today's video is going to be a video about a distributor that I found on Alibaba who made a very nice 3/4 shoe for me. I was definitely impressed with the quality and craftsmanship of the shoe. Everything was great. You couldn't be any happier with the job that they did, especially for a prototype shoe. So don't forget to leave your likes, your comments down in the comment section. Turn on the notification bell so that when these videos drop, you'll be notified. You'll be able to check them out immediately. So without further ado, let's get into this video and check out this shoe. Boom. All right, guys, so we're going to start with the bottom of the sole here. And the sole is very light and flexible, so it helps with making the entire shoe light. And it's just a very flexible sole. I wish you guys had a chance to sample the shoe, but to really feel how light it is. But as you can see, there's a little design to the shoe there. I've actually wore these once outside, so you can see how the markings on the sole are in this design, 1, 2, 3 design. And once again, it's just going to be a very flexible sole, and the shoe is just very lightweight. As you guys can see here, it just has Charm City on this piece of a material here. I think that if I do try to do a pre-order for the shoe, I'm going to exclude this piece because I don't think it's necessary for the shoe. But all in all, that's, how they sent it. And, for a sample, it's a very good sample. So we're going to change this to a front forward looking. And this here is going to be a air mesh sort of sock feel. So this is almost like that sock material that you see on a lot of popular shoes. And once again, it just helps with just the lightweight portion of just making this whole shoe lightweight and just very comfortable to wear. And you guys can see the front there. And what I was very impressed with is the logo on the tongue here. Very, very professional. I'm not sure of the materials that they use. I'm going to have to ask them. But you can see how that just came out really good. Charm City clothing. You have the 2 C's and the wings. So I was very impressed with that. I was very impressed with how they was able to manage to get that right on the sole. And this is going to be the inside of the shoe. However, they didn't put the logo, but the name of the brand here. But I'm cool with that. They put it in a place where you would most see the shoe. And lastly, you guys can see the pull tabs. So going back to the front of the shoe, you can actually see the pull tabs here on the shoe. And that's going to help you put the shoe on. Going to the back, they was able to put the Charm City in a vertical position here. I think I'm going to change the font of the shoe, the font of the wording. That looks good, but I think a better font will help it look better. And then you see your pull tag in the back. And this is just the inside of the shoe. Now I'm going to let you guys see these shoes together, and you'll be able to get a good look of how they look together. So that's how these shoes look together. And it's a pretty good feel. It gives you that look of the Cam Newton shoes that he did a few years ago. That's the best thing that I can kind of compare to the Under Armour Cam Newton shoe, just with a different sole. I actually like this sole better, though, than the sole that was on that shoe. So, guys, that's the inside look of the shoe. We're going to go into the tongue. I forgot to tell you about the tongue. And when the shoe came, it came with some cardboard foot forms. And what they did on the sole, they was able to put the logo on the sole. So you can see that there. But the sole is pretty thin. So once again, this is a very lightweight shoe. The sole being so thin keeps in line with just having the shoe to be as lightweight as possible. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review of Alibaba Distributing Company, shoe distributing company, that allowed me to get this sample. And the sample was $100 US. So it was a little expensive, but however, if I'm able to put in, let's say 200 to 300 pre-orders, it'll be well worth it. And then this shoe will probably go down, not probably, this shoe will go down in price. For the bulk order, this shoe will probably go under $50 for sure for the bulk order. I'm almost going to say probably between 30 and 40 for the bulk order. And then, of course, you can mark up this shoe accordingly. But I do think this will be a good starter shoe for your company, especially if you can add these little customizations to make the shoe a signature shoe. So you have the company name on the tongue area there, as I showed you guys earlier, which came out perfectly. We have another shoe customization on the back where you can see the Charm City logo there. And you see how thick that sole is. Once again, even just seeing how thick the sole is, it's still a lightweight shoe. And then you can see just from the cushioning that it's going to provide for your customers. So once again, that was the second way to customize it. And then the third way that we was able to customize the shoe was to basically just have, now this is the actual logo on the tongue, and that's going to cover you. That's going to basically have you make the shoe official. Any of your customers buying these shoes is going to be like any other shoe that they would buy from any of the bigger brands, Nike, Adidas, so on and so forth, is that you're going to have the logo there. We have the logo here, and then we also have branding once again on the back of the shoe in a vertical fashion here. So once again, that's 3 places that you're going to have branding. The shoe looks really good to me. I don't know about you guys. Leave it down in the comments. But this shoe is definitely going to be something that you can start your brand with if your support is strong enough. Once again, if you're going to get these shoes on a bulk order between $30 and $40, let's say you mark the shoes up to $80. If you can probably get half of the pre-orders, that's going to help you out a lot. That's probably going to, get you halfway there. If you're able to get, let's say, 200 pre-orders, that may just take care of the whole order. So if you're able to get 200 pre-orders, that may pay for the bulk order of 300. So it just depends on how strong your support is when you're doing these things. But if this was your first shoe, I think this shoe would be a success with your customers. Once again, I've tried these shoes on. I've walked around in them. This material here is very breathable. It gives you that sock feel. So your feet are going to be able to breathe. Your customers' feet are going to be able to breathe. But it's also going to give it that tight sock feel, very lightweight feel. The sole, once again, is almost like a cushion system. It's not going to be anything like, Epic React or Boost, but it is a cushioning system here. But it's not one of those cheap cushioning systems. I would say that's a middle grade cushioning system as far as the sole is concerned. Believe me, you're going to be, your customers and yourself are going to be happy with this cushioning system. The only thing with the sample that I did see It's just probably some glue. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that's a little bit of glue that may have just dried incorrectly in this portion here. That obviously, if that came through on the bulk order, a lot of these companies will, on the next order, a lot of these companies will replace the shoe. So let's say, once again, you got through your 300 pre-orders, and then now you're looking to maybe do a different color. Obviously, they can do these in different colors. I believe that they can do a white and black, where this color here will be white. This could probably be black, and I believe maybe the sole area could be black, or this would be white. This would be black, and then the area here, the sock area, will be white. So and there's one more color that I can't think of off the top of my head. But all in all, guys, this distributor provided a strong shoe for me going forward in the future. I hope to do a pre-order in the winter. It isn't ideal for how the shoe is made, because obviously if you're wearing it in colder weather, with the material being so breathable, your feet are going to get cold. But, maybe as a basketball shoe, maybe I can market it as a basketball shoe. Maybe I can just market it as a high top, a 3/4 workout shoe. So it's all in your marketing as well. If you choose to market different items different ways, then you can always be successful when it's not ideal for the colder or warmer months, depending on where you live. Hopefully, all of our businesses will become so successful that we will have customers who live in warmer states, and this shoe obviously won't be a problem for the warmer states. And then for the customers who live in the colder states, during the winter months, we can maybe offer them a leather shoe. So that's kind of what I'm working on next, is being able to offer my customers a all leather shoe. I'm looking now to get a sample so that I can show you guys. And once again, we can continue to grow our business together through Alibaba. And so far, I haven't really been let down with Alibaba as far as the shoes that I've been able to get from them as samples, and shoes that they've just been able to construct for me. So once again, we're going to give you guys a front view of the shoe, which is very nice. The shoestrings are just a regular black lace shoestring. Here is the rear. And obviously, I'll give you guys the inside of the shoe. Inside of the shoe there. And once again, you cannot be disappointed with the quality of the shoe. The quality and craftsmanship of this shoe is definitely A1. I showed you guys the only mistake. I won't say mistake, but I showed you guys the only thing that was going on with the shoes that I didn't like per se, which is you have the glue there, and then in this area here, it just looks like it's just some dried glue. Once again, I'm sure if I had a bulk order, the distributor would have no problems basically adding this shoe or adding more of the next shoe. Let's say, more of the next color. They would just say, okay, if you had, let's say you had 5 shoes with defects, they would just replace it on the next order. And that's one thing with Alibaba sometimes that you have to make sure before placing a bulk orders. Hey, if I get any defects, if I get any leggings that have stains on them, or if I get a legging where the logo falls off, will your company reimburse me on the next order? So unfortunately, I haven't run across a company yet that will reimburse you I won't say just to reimburse you, but I haven't run across a company who will reimburse you without placing the next order. But 9 times out of 10, if the company has done well for you, then you're going to be placing another order, and that's when they will reimburse you the items that was defective on the first order. All right, guys, here we go. It's the number one entrepreneur. I hope you guys like and subscribe. Share this video with any entrepreneurs that you know that may be in the business of starting their own brands. Obviously, if you want to go all the way with it, in my opinion, I feel like you do need a prototype shoe that leads you up to your signature shoe. So this will actually, for me, be a prototype shoe. This will be my prototype 3/4 shoe. And once again, like my other shoes, I would just advertise it as a prototype. Once you get the money, once you get the funds, once you get the support, there are companies out there where you can design a signature shoe. Now, the sole, from my research and the people that I've talked to, the sole will be a sole that's been pre-used, meaning the company that I spoke to specifically, let's say they have 50 soles that they just alternate through their customers. So you pick out your sole, but the upper they will customize to your liking. So depending on the materials you want to use, they will use those materials. Depending on the design that you put together, they will create that design, and that's what makes the shoe a signature shoe, because it's a design most likely that you won't see on the market. So once again, the company that I spoke to, the upper will be constructed pretty much any way you construct it. Any materials that you can think of that they have, I'm sure they'll be able to put it together. The only difference is that, for example, let's say this sole here, I may be able to use this sole, but a upper that I designed to complete the shoe, but it will still be a signature shoe. You know, that happens not all the time, not with the bigger companies, obviously with the mom and pops, and obviously with the startups, the small businesses. You may see soles reused. For example, the Balenciaga sole. That sole was a sole that was used on many different sock runners or sock shoes that was popular a few years ago. So yeah, you'll see something like that reoccur. And I'll be able to show you guys a good example of that. Manufacturers right out the gate. So if your customer is understanding of that, if your supporters are understanding of that, you have time to grow. So that doesn't look like anything too cheesy to me. And as you can see in the background, they was able to also put the logo on the sole. But just on that tongue area itself, that doesn't look cheesy to me. That actually looks pretty good in the way that it was all set up. And to pull the sole now versus the other sole, this sole is actually more kind of what you would expect from a brand shoe, like a higher brand shoe or something from the major brands. And once again, it's printed. You can see the company logo printed on the sole here, but this one's it's not as flimsy as the other one. So you guys can see that, and you can see that it's not as flimsy, let's say, compared to this one. This is a good sole, don't get me wrong, but it's a little flexible, little flimsy. This one doesn't flex as easy. It takes a little bit more strength to flex it. But thickness-wise, they almost feel the same thickness-wise. And this one has a little bit more arch support, as you can see here. That's an arch support versus this one not having much of an arch support at all. So you can kind of see the difference in soles, which, once again, this sole is going to be a better sole. But check that out. And I'm going to show you guys my second prototype. All right, guys. So this is the second prototype shoe. Now, this shoe is made overseas, but it didn't necessarily come from one of my Alibaba distributors. This actually came from one of my print-on-demand companies that I will be doing a video on that shortly. So this one, it has like I almost want to say like a fake boost. midsole. You can see it here. It kind of gives you that fake boost look, but it's not flexible at all. It's pretty hard. The sole itself is pretty nice. I actually like that sole. So I haven't seen this sole on too many other pairs of shoes. I have seen this little piece here on the shoes that you would see from Puma. They have this little piece here, but on this shoe, it actually looks really good. So I went with that. Obviously, something that you can't omit from the shoe. Then this leather here is very nice. And once again, you do have that fly knit. This is like a thicker fly knit, but the fly knit on this is just gone good. You do have the back pull tab. You are able to add a printed version of your logo on the tongue area here. So that is actually something that you are able to do that I did not do. But I chose to, on this particular pair, just add the logo, a big logo on the left shoe and just left the right shoe blank. And even with this company, you're able to get the logo on the tongue. And this print looks very good. It is a print and not like a vinyl transfer. This does have a little arch support, and this is a thicker sole as well. So this shoe is much heavier. This shoe I don't really advertise as my athletic shoe, so to speak. I do advertise this shoe as just a workout shoe, a shoe that you can work out in at the gym. I haven't really had the chance to test these shoes in a running situation where I could jog in these, but structurally these shoes feel good. I'm sure that you could go run in these shoes and won't have any problem. But this is my prototype shoe, prototype 2. You guys saw the prototype 1 and the green shoe. I also have a short video breaking down this shoe that I'll try to add somewhere above in this screen here. But you guys let me know, what do you think? The Asian distributors came through strong with the craftsmanship and quality of the shoe. This shoe was actually print on demand, so there is no bulk order. So this shoe here, you can actually get print on demand, and the company that I do this with actually does other clothing items print on demand. And the more items that you order, it'll give you a bulk price. So off the top of my head, I can't tell you exactly how much this shoe will cost you per shoe. It's under, I almost want to say it's under $50, maybe $40 for this shoe. And then obviously as you order, let's say 5 pair, it may give you a 20% discount. And then as you go up with the bulk order, it adds on different discounts. But yeah, this shoe is actually from a print-on-demand company that is out of Asia. They do a very good job. I'll showcase some of their other clothing in another video. I'll also showcase their website in another video. So you guys drop a comment in the description, like, subscribe to videos if you enjoy these. I will try my best to be a little bit more consistent with the videos. I will try my best to keep it coming so that once again we can all succeed in our endeavors as being an entrepreneur. So this is the average entrepreneur with the latest video. Once again, like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you guys on the next one.